Hi everyone, it's Amy here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. So today I'm quite excited for this video. I'm going to be doing a kind of vlog situation with reading Sarah J Maas's books because I feel like I'm very late to the game with this one. So I'm hoping lots of people have already read them because my plan with these videos is to do spoilery kind of vlogs of my live reactions to the books, as it were. So I have actually already read the first two books, so I will give you my opinions on those. But yeah, I will mention it again, these will have spoilers in because I am gonna read all of the books in the Throne of Glass series. So obviously I'm not gonna be able to make a vlog if I can't even really talk about what is happening. Can't imagine anyone would be watching this video if they haven't read the books. I don't know if that would really be very enjoyable for people. So I'm assuming people who've read them are going to be the people sticking around. So I bought a really lovely box set of all of Sarah J Maas's Throne of Glass books. They're really lovely editions. The first book, Throne of Glass, follows our main character, Celaena Sardothian, who has been trapped in the mines of this land, which is kind of like the prison where people essentially get sent when they've done something bad, and people don't often come out, they just die in there basically. At the beginning of this one, Celaena is hoiked out of these mines by some royal guards and she's put in front of the crown prince. Dorian is his name, and he kind of puts to her a challenge that if she can win the king's competition to become the king's assassin, then after 4 years of serving the king, she will become free and she'll win her freedom. With this one, I got real Hunger Games vibes, especially the bit where they were doing the actual competition between all of the people that had been put forward to become the king's assassin. At one point they were all in a training room and she had been advised not to be as good as she is and not to show so much of what she does, and I'm pretty sure that exact scene happens in the Hunger Games. And there's even a bit where she's shooting targets and impresses everybody, and again that happens in the Hunger Games. So I don't know which book came first because it seems very much like they influenced each other. I really love Celaena's character. I also really love the princess, and I'm gonna butcher this name, but I think it's Nehemia or Nehemia. She's really awesome, really strong-minded women who just kind of battle people around all the time. Don't really feel much for the love interests in the book so far. So we've got Dorian, who's the crown prince, who very much takes a fancy to Celaena, and we've got another name that I struggle to say. In my mind I want to say Chowl, but it's not Chowl. It's I think you are meant to pronounce it Cowl or Cole, more like that, but in my mind, every time I see his name, and I'm now on the third book, I stumble over it and it's really frustrating. So both of those love interests, I feel nothing towards, not even a little spark where I go, oh yeah, he's a bit nice. None of that, and I'm really surprised because usually, you know, stuff like that kind of sucks me in really quickly, and I've just not felt anything for either of them. In fact, I was kind of expecting there to be some kind of twist in the story where it turned out that Celaena might have been related to Dorian. I really thought that that was where it was going. It isn't where it goes, and I was just a bit surprised because their relationship just seems really on the surface level and a bit weird, as if the author is purposely trying to write it they don't really feel much for each other but they're doing it anyway. It's bizarre. I don't really feel the love interests at all. So this last weekend I finished Crown of Midnight, which is the second book. I thought it was okay. I definitely feel I enjoyed the first one more for the whole book, because this one, the first 100, maybe 200 pages, just it felt like it was dragging. Didn't really care for what was happening. It didn't really feel like the story was moving forward, and then suddenly everything started happening. Celaena is now the king's champion and he's sending her on assassination missions, which she is bodging, she's pretending to kill people. Then the thing that really made this book get off the ground for me was Nehemia, the princess that Celaena's really good friends with, is murdered, and oh my god, that was so it broke my heart. I was really gutted about that as well because I really love it when female characters have female friends that they're like learning from each other and they do more things with, and it's not just about like the men that they're talking to, because other than that in this book, like Selena has Philippa, who's her maid who kind of dresses her and things, but other than that she has no other like female friendships or anybody that she's kind of in contact with. And I just think that's a bit of a shame that the one character who she was buddies with is now dead. There's like a whole storyline between Cowell, however you say his name. He gets kind of kidnapped and she goes to save him, and in the process of her trying to save him, that's when Nehemia gets murdered. It really annoyed me because I'm still not feeling anything for this Chow guy. As I said, after that point the book really picked up. She was finding all these like secret passageways under the palace and all these like dark and scary things, and putting two and two together because like King and two of his like henchmen have these rings, which like from the beginning of the first book has been very obvious that they are like doing something. They're controlling people, causing them to see these like things and giving them headaches, and like they clearly have a lot of power through these rings, and it's been dropped right from the beginning that this is what's going on. And so Selena's like putting things together slowly but surely. We had talk of witches and fae in this one, which was really cool, and the end of this one was just brilliant. So she opens this portal so that she can speak to Nehemia. She just wants to see her friend, but then this portal goes all bad and she ends up letting this demon thing through and she has to fight it. She ends up going through the portal with Cal, and when they've gone through this portal, Selena turns into a fae, graceful, amazing looking woman, and that obviously really startles and surprises, shocks, disgusts, I don't know, Cole, like he's kind of freaked out by the fact that she's not what she seems to be. He is actually the descendant of the Terrasen king, and so she is the person that could bring about a kind of revolution and fight against the evil king that she is currently serving. Oh my god, like that was such a good end to a book that it definitely brought it up from like a 3-star read to a 3.5-star read for me, definitely. And now onto the kind of vloggy bit of this. So I've literally only just started this one last night and I'm already enjoying it so much more. So she's arrived in this fae land, this other kind of kingdom, and she's met some like sexy guy, and so like the sexy guy, he's like fae. I'm already feeling him more than the other two men that have been set up as love interests, so I'm really hoping he actually becomes a thing because I'm only literally like 2 chapters in and he's already more attractive to me. So I'm excited for this one. I'm gonna keep reading it and I will do maybe daily updates as I go along, or maybe not daily because I don't know how quickly I'm gonna get through it, but I thought it's quite nice to try and do this before I go to work each day because at least the lighting's not too bad and I can just give you a little update. So that's it for the moment, and I'll see you when I've read more. Good morning everyone, it's a few days since I last spoke to you and I've been ferociously reading Heir of Fire. I am about 250 pages in now and I'm really enjoying it. This has definitely been my favourite of all of the books from the series that I've read so far. I mentioned earlier in this video that there's a new kind of male interest in this book and he's called Rowan, and yeah, I really like him. So he's a fae kind of warrior prince kind of guy, and he's currently kind of training Selena to shift into her fae form without kind of completely losing control, which is what has happened so far when she's tried to change and shift into being a fae. Selena is now like far away from all of the other characters that we followed in the other books. She, like, the chapters are all split between the characters, which is something I don't love. It kind of reminds me of Game of Thrones, where you're reading like a chapter you really enjoy and then you switch to another character and you have to wait for ages before you get back to the characters that you're really enjoying. So that at the beginning of this book was bothering me quite a bit because I was just really enjoying Selena's story and I just wanted to be with her, like learning what was going on there, and it kept going back to Dorian and Cole, and we're just going to call him Cole now. I think that's how you say it, but I'm just gonna, that's his name now, that's how I'm pronouncing it. So Cole, and then we're also following a storyline of witches, the Iron Teeth witches, and one of them called Manon. And I found that I wasn't interested in all of that to begin with, but now that I'm about 250 pages in, I'm really enjoying the witch storyline. Still not so enjoying Cole's storyline. And Dorian, he's got like a new kind of love interest as well in a kind of healer lady in the castle where he's living. So, oh goodness, we've got a cat playing with a mouse on a tree. Let me see if I can show you. Winnie, you being naughty lady. Oh, that looks very precarious there, doesn't it? I mean, there used to be a third one on this thing, but Sid, big boy Sid, jumped on it too many times and then it broke. I'm gonna keep reading later. I've just been, like, I've got into it now. I was waiting for the kind of click to happen and the, you know, the feeling when you like leave a book and you just can't stop thinking about it and you want to keep reading it, and I've got that now in this book. And I've been told from all the people that kind of recommended this series to me that they just keep getting better from here. So, ooh, I'm gonna come home and read again later today. So yeah, that's all the update I have, but I will check in again when I've read some more. Good morning everyone, today is Saturday. It's a really grim day out there today, properly raining, so I'm just settling down to have some breakfast and then I'm going to continue with Heir of Fire. I'm about 380 pages into this one, so I'm hoping to finish it this weekend. I think I've got a good chance of doing that because I don't think we're going to be going out anywhere, and so I will definitely let you know what I think when I'm finished that one, and then that will be the end of this vlog. I then think I will split up the remaining books in the series. I realised I haven't read Assassin's Blade, which is like a prequel to the series, so I don't know whether to read that one next. Let me know what you would like to see. Do you want me to read Assassin's Blade and then jump on with the next one after this one? Let me know. It's a little while later and I am now 500 pages into Heir of Fire, so I've only got about 60 pages left, so I'm definitely going to be finishing this one today. I'm really enjoying it. In fact, there's been a couple of occasions where I kind of welled up a little bit when Selena was kind of fighting down the evil people and reliving all these like horrific memories from her past. Like that really got to me. That I'm liking the fact that the latter half of the book is spending so much more time with Selena and Rowan because I'm just enjoying their story more. There are slight detours to Cole and Dorian and the witch clan, although I haven't read from the witch people in quite some time actually. I don't know if I've even read anything at all from them today. Really hoping that the relationship between Rowan and Selena turns into like, you know, like an enemies to friends to lovers situation, because at the moment they've gone from like enemies, now they're kind of friends, and there's like slight hints towards them, like more of that, like they've had this like blood bonding thing and been able to like fight down evil with it, and they keep talking about like mates, other stuff with them being strongly connected, but they haven't like kissed or anything. Like there's not really been anything romantic per se, other than them being very protective of each other and wanting to be near each other a lot, which you could say for a friend anyway. So I'm just wanting it to get there and I hope it does. I'm gonna be like sad if like she ends up just pining over Cole the whole time because I have no interest in him. In fact, she keeps like remembering him and I'm like, it wasn't even that great with him. Like what are you remembering? Like this guy, like I don't get it. So I'm hoping Rowan like just takes over that part of her mind and then she moves on happy with him. Although I do wonder, because I'm just looking at my shelf down there, there's 4 more books like that are based after this book. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Like this, I'm so excited. I'm really glad that this one I've become super invested in because I bought the whole box set and I was gonna be a bit gutted if I paid all that money and then didn't end up enjoying them. So let's continue reading and see what happens come the end. I've just finished Heir of Fire and a lot happened in that last 60 pages or so. A lot happened. I feel really bad for Dorian. I wish that hadn't happened. But definitely I would say that that side of the story got a lot more interesting in that last 50 pages. Definitely more interested in what's going on with Cole now that he's out of Ardalan and away from the king. Hoping that Selena's cousin doesn't die before she gets to meet him, because that would be really sad. The standoff between Selena and Maeve was really cool. I like that she like went in there really badass, told her what for, and managed to get Rowan on her side, and I thought that was really good. Finally got some more from the Eye and Teeth, which is Manon. I really like her story. Come the end of this book, I was like really rooting for her. I'm like so interested to see where it goes, because the morals and the kind of way that the witch clan work, they just seem so brutal and just downright evil, but there just seems to be this like glimmer of humanity within Manon, and she's like questioning things, but it's like she hasn't quite got to the point where she can stand up to her grandmother. I am so looking forward to reading the next one and seeing what happens. That is the end of this reading vlog. I do hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down below if there's anything you'd like to see more of in these videos, i.e. more of me reading, more chatting between kind of chapters, anything like that. I'm happy to kind of make it what people want to see. I hope you're having a really lovely day, and I will speak to you soon. Bye!